Greetings. All right, thank you for joining us. Okay. Got her. Here she is. Jeez. More than that from Fritzy. Yeah. I'll turn on the background. All right. Greetings. Okay. It's been raining here like crazy. All right. So go the animal within. Past life cord cutting. I'm not going to channel this, but political backup plan. Gavin Newsome for what's his face? It's brain dead. Of course, probably been brain dead his whole life. But anyway, let's look at the highlights of the political. Yeah. So, what a surprise. So, I don't know. I guess I don't know. Is it there? I don't know. Was he going to do it Biden? They're going to wait for the heat is on before they switch him out with whatever. Maybe put a puppy in there instead. Or just leave him brain dead. Who knows? Who cares? But just the Newsome energy. I even looked at a poll and it didn't think anything of it. And Newsome was at the top of that list, so something's there. But care, not really. But the show must go on, huh? And so many are just, I guess they can't figure themselves out, so they focus on that. That's part of the soul journey, no problem. So the animal within, basically, it's almost like your totem, or people feel like they're cats, dogs, owl. How many people think they're an owl person? Probably not many. It's probably not a popular one or one that's even thought of. Can you say it's kind of connected to the watchers? Of course, anything could be a watcher technically, but the owl is definitely a form of that. Of course, using occult symbolisms and all that. But basically, just to animal energies, just like how many people feel like they're fish people. I'm not gonna go too far into that because you get into all these other creature type things here, and I don't want to get too weird. Or just we'll just leave it at the fish people. Fish are a bunch of weird, alien entities anyway. And I used to work with someone that looked like a fish. You don't run into that very often. He literally looked like a fish. It was even a joke in the place of he looked like a fish. So yeah, and you like riding his bike too. So it's kind of like a fish. Like you just want to keep moving. So yeah, and didn't have to have a complicated life with a simple life. Nothing wrong with that. It was still very open-minded, actually. So yeah, it's quite it's as you just observe, it's quite if you actually got to see that. I mean, technically you can visualize it, but you actually got to see it. A bunch of fish people walking around, or cat people, and so on. Give you a little more clarity. So we're just boring humans crying about politics and whatever all else is. I don't fucking know. Yeah, it's funny. They try to complain about how corruption is going to go away in the government. Maybe it will, but society is still corrupt. What about that? Can we get rid of that? No. It's okay. The government clears out their corruption. What about society? No, that's going to stay. The decay is going to stay. Self-decay. And that's like it really is. It's like if you're going to self-destruct or self-destruction and all that seems to be what people want these days. The attraction in the relationship world too, or get controlled by somebody. Jeez. Yeah, that's a nice train wreck society. What about all those things? Obviously, I'm just being vague. But yeah. So yeah, nice broken society we have here. Let's get rid of the elite. Yeah. Sure. See how that goes. Also, past life cord cutting. That one's a little bit complicated because, I mean, you don't have to. Uh, you're not your past lives anymore. You are what you are. But yeah, there are connections there that can mislead you in this life. If you constantly, well, like people go into relationships from past lives, and a lot of times they weren't supposed to be in that relationship, or they can, and watch it crash and burn. Sometimes it's closure. Sometimes it's just, yeah, it's weird. I mean, well, for example, this is kind of, but I knew actually the girl that where I became aware like got me to become more aware of tarot card people. Well, again, I already knew about them before, but to reintroduce it all to a hypnotist and all that. Her boyfriend, she actually shot her boyfriend in a previous lifetime. I killed him, and of course they had problems in this life. But guess when she did a past life regression and saw that like I think instantly. And so when she finally left him, he wouldn't leave her alone. Yeah, well, that's why she shot him last time. Well, he was really disgusting. He's kind of not that great in this life either, but he was pretty bad. Yeah, so she kind of put up with it. In this lifetime, she finally not put up with it anymore. So, but he was kind of gross when she was pulling away from him. So, anyway, so there's a past life cord. So, anyway, yeah, that was a bit complicated. Yeah, especially going through karma of being a genocidal warmonger or something like that. Jeez. Yeah, life at the dollar store. So, anyway, sometimes that's true, living the simple life, as crappy as it might be just as better than having everything. You can make one bad choice after the other. Anyway, Simon taught a comment private sessions. The scheduler. We have a shop here. All right. Okay. Okay. So the animal energies that we're all connected to, and just go into the animal consciousness in general, and then go into past life cord cutting. I'm not going to do the political stuff. Just what's the point? It's just train wreck. It's funny that'll get all the views. It's so toxic. The society is still lost. As smart as society thinks it is, it's still pretty damn lost. So whatever. It's pretty lost. It's just swimming around in the sewer, complaining about the Illuminati. I mean, yeah, but they're not willing to. Like I said, they're not willing to change themselves. But they cry about the Illuminati all day long. So okay, whatever. Anyway, all right. Here we go. Blessings. Greens through the animal consciousness. First off, coming into this world, it's not necessarily a goal, but for some it is to go into one's dark side and see how much you need it. How much is do you need a full glass, a half glass, or a 25%, or balancing it, which is good. But your animal can like you connect to different sides of it. You have the reptilian side that wants knowledge but can't always handle it. Sometimes wants more than it can handle. Of course, you can say that's with everything, but reptilian beings, well, of course, you don't really see through that. Too many crocodiles trying to take down an ocean liner. Then again, it's probably a thought, though. But it's reptilian beings like to just do more than they can handle. Let's put it that way. With the canine side of yourself, that's also like a socializing side, but also sometimes it's part of the love relationships where you just want to be in a relationship every 5 minutes or cuddle with somebody, or whatever. That's a big canine side of oneself. So obviously, you have different layers of your animal version. The bird is just wanting to be free, and talk about a stress reliever. If you can just fly and just have frustration and just fly, that would probably heal a lot of anxiety here. But then again, flying is kind of the escape. Are you going to come back? Because that's why you're human, to have to kind of face your obstacles instead of flying away from them. Of course, you always get in a car and drive away, or whatever, bus, whatever it is, walk. But here you have to face it. That's a big part of it, is facing it. But flying, well, you can fly in astral. You can fly in your mind. There's other ways you can disconnect. Sometimes, not always, especially when you're in some kind of heated argument or some kind of negative frequency. Yes, it's difficult, of course. The cat energy, can be very independent, truly the loner energy, disconnected from everybody, and just be fine with that. And become independently, just ideas, independent everything. But that's why you have the dog energies. That's why you have all these other elements, so you're not so disconnected. It's just a strong frequency here. It's protective energy, but it's complicated to have all these animal connections, but they are useful at the same time, balancing themselves out. But and also the animal totems are talking to you at the same time. But some of you are entities that just are mystery beings. Okay, technically everybody's a mystery, but some of you are a lot more mysterious than others, and done for a purpose. Because a lot of times your knowledge does not, as some of you know, that's why you have to be an introvert, because society, what you have does not connect. So, become more and more mysterious the more you evolve, actually. But the animal frequencies, it's very diverse, but it's nice to know, well, what animal comes to mind. If any type of animal comes to mind anywhere, elephant energy, elephants are just part of it's a lot of inner wisdom and grounded frequency. Elephant, try to move one of those guys. So they're big because of the knowledge. Not to say other entities don't have knowledge, but they have a lot of knowledge where they bring it into their being and their essence, so they can't be moved. That's part of it. So headstrong, maybe too headstrong. So grace you with the past life energies, or astral consciousness. Your past lives are actually just little pieces of fragments of your existence. Some do, there's traumas that go into them, of course. It makes you what you are. Sometimes it's yin and yang. Yes, an eye for an eye, past lives. There's a lot of that. And this incarnation is basically doesn't mean you have to know all your past lives. Basically, just cutting the cord of anything that's holding you back. And lifetimes can do that. It's called belief systems, especially when the female has been so suppressed by the male in previous incarnations. But all that goes back to ancient times, where the female is very intense, and you see that now. As weeks, they're showing more of their dark side again, and that's why they're shut down in the past. Not all are like that, but a lot of them are. The toxic feminine, well, they don't know what to do with their power. They can't handle it. As you can see, of course, they get offended. But as you can see in society, just those that are grounded can see it, but most are not grounded. They're just out of control. And not to say a male is perfect, but the male has to like formulate, become this sometimes creature to battle it. Yeah, it's kind of transformed. And sometimes they do become more feminine because they're tired of fighting. A male has become more feminine. Well, first off, is also just to bring that in to balance themselves, balance the masculine and feminine. And others are just tired of fighting, just in general, just sick of it. So just tired of that masculine war zone life, especially the Martian frequencies that's here. So yeah, a lot of the males can become a lot more feminine. Or it just really comes down to just tired of the war. And putting that energy out to society. Can we just all just obviously it's not working completely, but has some effect. It just because you're not having like World War IIIs and all that. I mean, yeah, you are in some ways, but not the full effect of it. It truly is it's like calming the horse down, just taming it. And obviously, there's still that just want to just take over the planet and all that. And that's a lot of those feminine frequencies, as you can see. But past life frequency, yeah, it's very diverse. Those that are sometimes like in your modern incarnation, sometimes like you might be male or female, then you have to clear out a lifetime that might have been the opposite of your gender currently. But not everyone wants to see that. Doesn't mean you have to clear it out, but it will help. Especially those that feel like they've been human all their lifetimes. That's not true either. No, you've been all these different type of beings. Some of you actually been literally like DNA of countless species. Like your energy can give like be an atom of life and give an entity power. Like you see these godlike beings, but your soul itself can be that frequency. Like you're connected to another entity to help them with their power. Entities, what is their power? Well, sometimes you pull your energy back. It's like a relationship between their powers, but sometimes, not always, another consciousness. But it's once again like a partnership, a relationship, a relationship with yourself, a relationship with your abilities. When you start abusing it, it goes away. When you start doing it right, it comes back in. So it's another way of looking at it. It's not in all cases, but cases like that do exist. And this planet, as you can see, many have given away their power. And they're just not quite. Now, that also part of it is it's difficult to answer everyone's lifetimes here, but it's just a lot of soul contracts are constrained. Right? They're grounded with the earth. Yes, very slow. Of course, many do learn slow here, but yes, obviously you want this and that. Of course, that's society trying to manipulate you. You want this and you want all of this wealth, and you want that, but then when you have all that, you feel nothing. If you use your wealth for creativity or productivity, it's different. But if you just use it for showing off, some of that is a bird frequency, or animals. A lot of birds like to show off. Some dogs, poodles like to show off. Some cats like to show off, but birds actually like to show off more. Yeah, you see some of these birds with all these crazy feathers and all that. And you say fish, exotic fish is kind of like that, but they're underwater. I mean, they like to show off to people actually. So, yeah. Give you some insights that. But cutting cords you can just do it in general. Just put your intention to cut the cords. You don't have to know everything. If you need to know it, like if it's an abuse lifetime, if you need to know it, it will come back to you eventually, or somebody will tell you about it, whatever it is. If somebody tells you about it, you probably already released it, but it's kind of a reminder of what you used to carry. And it's multi-dimension incarnations. It can get very confusing. Imagine you carry all these different multi-dimensional lifetimes. You don't have to think too deeply into it. But doing a cord cutting and just, slowly, if you need to know any of these lifetimes, they'll slowly just come to you automatically. As for the political spectrum and all that, they're just playing society. It's checkmate, it's chess, it's a darkness there, of course, but they're just reacting to how society is. Politics, say what you want, it is reacting to the world that they're in. Not to say they're perfect, no, or they're saints or anything like that, but they're a reflection of society. And society is not quite ready to see its own dirty laundry, as you can see. Some are, most aren't. Some are. When you stop blaming everyone and just really connect to yourself and clear out that, well, clear out your, yeah, but it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. But many keep their laundry very dirty here and not willing to let it go. Some of it's ego related. It's like I'm always right, and you're not, this and that, and that's all past life stuff. Yes, there's some links there. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. Yes, if the world was ready to like hear its problems, it'd be a different planet. But some would just rather just coast on. It's like I'm fine, but that's not the case. That's why you come back here again and again and again, possibly. There's not always, but a lot of times, like, remember that blue world that's very difficult? Yeah, you didn't finish that yet. It might be like thousands of lifetimes afterwards. You still have to clear it because some situations you can clear here where you can't clear at other places or events in your past life connections.